two of you for some time now, and...
Nothing can stop us now.
Did I miss the part where you ask if anyone objects?
Nico.
And now, here's your host, Conan O'Brien!
I just feel so empty. I mean, all I want is my mama.
We gotta be careful here. There's a lot of stuff flying around.
Look at the nerves of steel on these chickens.
Hey, Andy, check it out. It's
The Mir Space Station.
the Mir Space Station. They're backing up. Oh, no, they're backing up. All right, we're gonna take a little break, everybody. We'll be right back with Elton John. Stick around.
Pasadena is the best affiliate, and Conan is great too. He's so awesome. Pasadena is the best affiliate, and Conan is great too. He's so awesome. No, it's
All right, now, next up is our show's production coordinator, Jordan Schlansky. Jordan, nice to see you. What do you have for us? Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Huh? I get shocked when I'm drunk. It was Joel's neighbor coming over to complain about the noise, Nicolas Cage. I told him he hadn't done any good work since leaving Las Vegas. So he punched me. Then he punched me again. Then he agreed with me.
From the historic Elgin Theater in beautiful downtown Toronto, in February, it's Late Night with Conan O'Brien!
Sometimes if I crane my head, I can look out that window, which is really nice.
How do you see, what, show me
I
how
have
that
to,
works.
I have to get up.
Yeah?
And then I peek, and then I have to come and I sit back down and answer the phone.
That might be the saddest thing I've ever heard in my whole life.
This is a photo of you with the horny manatee.
Yeah, as Josh mentioned, we had mentioned the URL horny manatee in a comedy sketch, and this was December of 2006.
Oh, wow. Look at those sideburns.
That picture is me and Dan Gore, of course, former writer on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, who's gone on to do fantastic things.
Yes.
This is Jordan Schlansky. He's a producer on our
Hi,
show.
Jordan, how are you?
Good to see you. Jordan is our resident Star Wars expert. Is that fair to say, Jordan?
Yes, sir.
Jordan, you have some problems with this Darth Vader costume?
Well, I just noticed that John had said it was an original, and then I also noticed that the chest plate doesn't have the Hebrew lettering in these three areas that the original has, which led me to believe that maybe it actually is a replica.
Jordan, who was featured in the remote, believes, Jordan Schlansky believes he can stump you with a question. Jordan thinks he's the best. I think we should bring Jordan out right now. Jordan, would you mind?
Well, as we all know, there's a very famous scene in the original 1977 film where Darth Vader uses the Force to strangle an Imperial officer. Now, although his name was never mentioned in the context of the film, it was listed in the end credits. What is the name of that character?
It is Conan Antonio Motti.
Hey, correct! Well, George got it right. Congratulations, and thanks, Jordan.
What few people stayed behind during the strike, what kept them busy was this game, which everyone's familiar with, Rock Band. Actually, the most annoying thing I do is I play my guitar along with looked you in the eye. But I'm afraid.
I'm sitting here with Jordan Schlansky. Jordan, I didn't go to shake your hand. I just gestured to you. How very presumptuous of you. You're fired. Jordan, what's your title on Late Night?
I'm the associate producer.
Believe it or not, Jordan's a real guy. Let's get him in here. Jordan Schlansky.
I had the pleasure of visiting La Ciao del Tornavento and the Langhe of Piemonte. Probably known as one of the best gastronomic centers of the world. One of the best restaurants in that gastronomic center.
So you were in Italy and you were in a good food place.
That's correct. It was a multi-course meal. The meal lasted 4 hours. I had the pleasure of being taken down to the wine cellar when it was over.
And raped.
Let's get him out of here, ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Schlansky. He really exists. Okay. Jordan has a question. He's going to try and stump you. Jordan, why don't you let her rip?
Well, the bullwhip in the original film belonged to the stunt coordinator and was made by David Morgan in Washington State. It was 8 feet in length and was made of calfskin with a 12-plate overlay. Subsequently, kangaroo hide versions were used in the following 2 sequels. They were most often 10 feet and had red hide falls at the end. What was the color of the original whip's fall?
Who gives a We were wondering what would happen to the molecular structure of douchebags if we smash these two together at high speeds. I think we should get started.
Conan, I'm sorry, I can't let you do that.
Okay, don't be confused, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jordan, our somewhat anal retentive associate producer, Jordan Schlansky. Applause really wasn't necessary. What's the problem, Jordan?
You're playing with forces way beyond your control. If Spencer Pratt and Chris Angel hit each other head-on, it could tear a hole in the douchebag continuum. It would suck up every douchebag on the planet.
You're certain about this, Jordan?
I've never been more certain of anything in my life.
Okay, well, Jordan, you're not the only one who's worried. Tonight's experiment is being closely watched by douchebags all over the world. Now, I think we should begin right now. Jordan, you've warned me, but I must continue. I'm going to put these special glasses on. Douchebags were killed. I guess you were right, Jordan. Jordan?
I'm not gay.
Why did you say that?
Because it's true.
Who asked?
Nobody.
All right, then. Did you see the knives, Jordan?
Yes.
You did see the knives?
Yeah, those are Henkel's.
Not now. This is the best Thanksgiving I ever had. Oh, except for the other 44 when I was with people I enjoyed. Is this something you would ever give a girl you were interested in?
Possibly.
Really? It's not as romantic as you think. This is a bear that was born with its heart outside its chest cavity. Look at the bear, it's like, oh, kill me. Kill me, I want to die. My heart's outside my chest. I'm noticing right now that the instructions on the machine are in Italian. Do you think that's at all off-putting to people who want to use the machine and don't speak Italian?
I think you're making the assumption that I chose the display language. Furthermore, Italian is a beautiful language, and I don't see the problem with having Italian instructions on the machine.
So you made a decision for the group?
Yes, I did.
The way Mussolini made a lot of decisions for his country.
Jordan, quick question. What are your responsibilities on this show?
I have various duties. My title is associate producer.
It's the greatest non-answer I've ever heard. Various duties, and this is my title.
Jordan Schlansky and his new coffee machine, ladies and gentlemen. You got up, you had your whey and oat shake, then what?
Then I prepared my body in various ways. I cleaned it, shaved it, and got
What do you mean?
dressed.
Okay, I want to make it very clear to everyone at home. This is really happening. This is completely real. This isn't scripted. He just said all those things. This is a real person. I'm sick of people asking me, how did you find that guy who writes his stuff? You just said that. You just said, I prepare my body in various ways. Jordan, are you essential, yes or no?
Yes.
Were you to disappear now, and man, is it tempting, would the show be affected?
With the exception of yourself, I could argue that any particular staff member can be eliminated with no visible result on air.
You have the body language of Lee Harvey Oswald. Why would you want to keep this?
I use that to ship wine.
How about this?
I use that to ship wine as well.
Okay. This is a place of business. This is a television show. You seem to think that we are running a moderately sized Italian restaurant. Julie, you said that changing someone's space can change the individual, that this could be a life-altering experience for Jordan. Jordan, do you feel changed?
No.
Don't take the hat off. He'll be dead in an hour. He's a good sport. I'm sorry. Good man. Jordan, thank you for agreeing to this. I know this is a bit of a shock. Jordan is engaged. What is the name of your intended?
Emma.
Emma. You're marrying a woman.
Yes. I'm a deeply emotional man.
A deeply emotional man doesn't say that. I'm a deeply emotional man.
I have deep feelings and deep thoughts. I can be moved to tears by warm sunlight on my face.
And you share this.
Wait, warm sunlight on your face moves you to tears? That's just the eye being irritated by the sunlight. That's not emotion. I think what moves you to tears is you show up at CVS for the new groomer and the shelf is empty.
How do you like your meat?
Medium rare to rare.
See? So for coffee, a lighter roast is essentially a more medium rare than a well done.
I don't agree with that analogy.
You're disagreeing with the coffee expert?
Coffee is like black truffles. Its true flavor comes out only through heat.
Hold me back.
Kill you! Kill you! Take it back!
I think what we've learned is that coffee, like most of the sweetest things in life, is best enjoyed with people you care about.
I'm gonna throw up. That's the first thing we have to do.
You're wasting time. I've read this thing 3 times already. We've already lost 5 minutes. It's 20% of our time. We need to work quickly. We need to work quickly and survey the room. There are many objects here. It's visually stimulating and very complex. I think we need to break this down and understand what lies ahead of us. But that's only for one of the 4 numbers. Why do you get physical? There are steps to take the next step.
Don't tell me how to run my detective agency!
You're falling apart at the seams.
I'm not falling apart! I'm the only one here that really knows what he's doing.
Maintain your focus.
Airplane.
This is a mechanical device. It won't reason with logic.
You're a mechanical device, and you don't reason with logic.
Burn.
I'm a deeply emotional man. I have various duties. My title is associate producer. Twice a week I shave, remove excess hair. I shave other areas. I wake up, I have cappuccino and a savory pastry. It's any producer's job to make sure the host, like yourself, is freed up to deal with creative issues and doesn't have to get bogged down in the mire of production difficulties. If I do my job well, you'll never know about it.
So when you're performing at your highest capacity, I don't notice you. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
But also, if you weren't here and you were doing nothing, I wouldn't notice you. So how do I know the difference between you performing at the highest level and you doing nothing? Look into camera and say you're excited to have a bachelor party.
I've been told to say I'm excited to. I think Abigail is an attractive woman. However, I don't think this situation is conducive to sexual arousal.
I might have something that's more Jordan's speed.
Wow. Now it's very delicate.
A long time.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I have a sharp.
That's bad.
Don't worry about it.
But you have the pen?
Yeah. Really?
Okay.
Fine.
Are you happy with the bush of red hair at the base of your back?
Well, the bush extends further up than I thought.
I don't think we need a close-up for this.
You don't have to pull your pants down that far.
I didn't. You did.
The bush is now gone.
Okay. You're the strangest person I've ever met. I professionally interview 3 people a day. I've been doing it 4 or 5 days a week for 23 years. You're the strangest man I've ever met. Do you,
I carry one of these with me at all times. They're individually wrapped, as you can see here.
Please
and very
demonstrate.
easy to transport in one's pocket.
Okay. Were you, oh, you're putting that in your back pocket. I thought you were shoving that up your ass.
It has very soft features. It has a large chin vent. It has a very smooth peak on the dome. Recently, a company in Southern California...
Can I interrupt you for just one brief second?
Yes.
You will die alone. Continue.
Recently, a company in Southern California called EFX Collectibles.
So, you feel nothing. You feel no shame.
No, I don't feel any shame. Why would I feel shame?
Had you seen that email, would you have gone in and taken the ice cream cake?
If there was an occasion to celebrate, I would have, out of respect for the other person. I don't particularly want ice cream cake right now.
How about some extra virgin Napa Valley olive oil? Why do you have this on your desk?
I like to have things on my desk that I enjoy.
Really? That's funny. I don't see any gay porn.
Well, the second major inconsistency is the lack of a middle ring within the large concave dish on the dish's northern hemisphere. The third complaint pertains to the width of the
Why did he run away on camera?
All right. All right.
You got away just in time, Jordan. You're
Yeah.
safe.
Right.
That's the thing about the Death Star. Once you see that laser coming. Jordan is obsessed with Star Wars. He thinks it's far superior to Star Trek. But here's the thing. Jordan kind of reminds me of Spock. The lack of emotion, the robotic way of speaking, the absence of any behavior that could remotely be considered human. Please welcome Jordan Schlansky. Now, first of all, tell us, why do you think Star Wars is superior to Star Trek?
Well, Star Trek is grounded in our own frame of reference, and as such, suffers from the limits of our own trite reality.
You're fired. Get the fuck out of here and never come back.
Weg, or away, was a naturally created path, usually from heavy foot traffic or perhaps animals.
Why are we riding together? How did this...
We're both going in the same direction.
I know.
Why wouldn't we ride together?
Well, do you really want me to answer that question? We wouldn't ride together because you're such an irritating person. I've always wanted to understand Italy the way you understand Italy.
I want to see Italy through your cold, lifeless eyes. So I've decided to take you to Italy.
That sounds great.
Promise me that when you show me your Italy, we're going to have a good time.
I guarantee you.
And I'll promise you to moisturize, you mother. This is Conan and Jordan in Italy. This is absolutely fantastic. If I purchased this, would you be willing to walk around in this all while you're at the office? I swear I'll pay you extra money. We see here the deadness in the eyes. There's no soul. The man has no soul. There's just nothing in there. And then legs sort of like a frog, but a frog that's very sickly.
See, they're bent like a frog.
Excuse me.
Because you told me to bend
Excuse
like
me.
a frog.
Excuse me. Models. Models can speak.
You're a fool. You are you frame yourself as a sophisticate and academic, you know, an intellect, and you're a fool. I mean, this is like toddler humor, you know. All your training has led you to this.
What I would like to do is go very deep into the woods. And once we are very, very deep in the woods,
E poi,
I would like
lui vuole
to kill my friend.
quello.
Yeah. That's okay?
They don't mind.
Fantastic. I love you guys. You want to be able to see your finger through it.
Yes, yes.
Jordan, hold yours
Okay.
up. And see if you can see my finger through the wine. Can you see it? You can see that. Okay.
I'm aware of all your facial widths over the years. 2002, you're a gross. If I look at a show from 2002, it's almost like, it looks like you were digitally manipulated. Like you were a skinny guy playing a fat guy in the movie and they digitally stretched your face. You look great now. I'm just saying in 2002, you were disgusting. Just look at the tape. Just look at the tapes. If you handed me a tissue and said, this will take care of your problem.
What? Get in close. Get in close.
What?
Get in close on him. Get in close on him.
I'd say maybe I'll go wash it with soap and water instead. You can keep your tissue.
You're frightening me. You're having a whole meltdown.
Today I got the bufalina. You see, sometimes different auto grill have different sandwich selections. You see the same ones over and over again, but if you're in the south, they may feature some southern products. We're kind of in central Italy right now, southern Tuscany, so I just went with the bufalina. It's got mozzarella cheese on it, mozzarella di bufala, in fact, and look at this man's elegance. Watch his movements. It's a ballet at the machine. No movement is wasted. Everything is perfect. Look at him go. It's a dance. It's a dance between man and machine.
No, it's not. He's making coffee.
No.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao. Oh, they run away. Jordan, why do they not wish to be viewed by us?
Maybe they're shy. They don't need to be on television to self-validate.
What did you say?
She has the authority in this room. She is the teacher. She is in control. They're well behaved, they listen, and look at you. You're an animal. You eat a brochure.
She said I'm an animal? Did she say I'm an animal?
I am paraphrasing. You come in as the American, you see we're representing our country. Different people cut it different ways. You can cut it however you want. You can cut it into squares, you can cut it into triangles, whatever it is. I cut it the traditional way, one down the middle, rotate it, one down the middle again, and basically cut it into what amounts to 8 slices. It's the classic way, and who am I to mess with a good tradition?
2 sprecchi di vita, ora uno sprecco di fine. Con Conan O'Brien. Jordan Schlansky. 2 buffoni.
Italy. Italy, 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 Italy. I need to need Italy. 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 Italy.
Italy. It's Italian. Italy.
Italy. Italian.
Italian.
I'm Italian.
Italiano.
Italy.
Italy.
Italy. Italian.
Italian. Italian,
Italian. To Italy. Italy, Italy. Italian. Italian, Italian.
Italiano.
Italian. Italian.
Italiano. Italian, Italy, Italian, 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 the Italian, 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 the Italian, Italy, Italy, Italian, Italian,
Italy, Italian, Italian, Italy, 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 Italiana, Italy,
Italian, Italians, Italy,
Italy, Italy, Italy.
You're right, Mom. Upgrading my thermal coil with a copper alloy should protect my heat shield against any unforeseen power surges. I'll try that when I get back to our planet.
Oh man, I gotta see that again. Oh. That's fantastic.
When I see few things, I look at each thing and it makes me go deeper into each of those things. So I'll look at your Lego toys right there and I look very deep and I can see all the details and the minutiae. Now, these are details that you toiled over. We do 42 weeks a year. So now you're talking about 42 weeks of shows a year. Now, how can I maintain my sense of self in a world?
Hi, Conan. It's me, Ralph Macchio. Listen, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to tell that Jordan guy that all the scenes in Karate Kid Part 2 that were supposed to be Japan were actually shot in Hawaii. Oh, and Jordan, those weren't real dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Sayonara.
I strongly suspect you're being paid by the Anus Council. You have said the word 600 times.
Anus.
Anus. Anus. Clean an anus. The anus. 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 The anus. Washes the anus. Your anus.
Anus. The anus. Your anus.
My anus.
Your anus.
Your anus.
Your anus.
Anuses.
Your anus. Your anus.
Their anus.
The anus.
The anus.
One's anus.
Anus.
The anus.
Anus.
The anus.
Dry the anus.
Dry the anus.
The anus.
The anus.
Other than anus. Anus.
Anus.
How many seconds does it take to clean your anus?
Anus Council approved.
You showed me your Italy. Now I show you my Italy.
Okay.
We would like to have 2 of your Italian margaritas, please.
I don't want an Italian margarita.
Excuse me. Due Italian margaritas.
There you go. Am I allowed to speak and interact?
Listen, I'm here to teach you. I am the master. You're the student. I am Yoda.
Right.
And you
Luke
are...
Skywalker.
You're not really Luke Skywalker. You're sort of like a sickly Chewbacca. Oh my God, fantastic. Jordan decked out in Chinatown Market. This is fantastic. Jordan, this is the real you. What do you guys think?
Pulls it off.
He pulls it off with a certain panache. And you said it's possible to print something on his shirt, is that right?
Yes, we have our magic printing gun here.
You need a phrase from me that I want printed on
Yes.
Jordan's sweatshirt?
Tell me anything. All right, you ready?
That is beautiful.
Hey, Jordan.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much free space there is over here. It's incredible. Hey, Jordan.
Yes.
It's Conan.
Okay.
Can I come in?
Sure.
Nice office. Hey, as a sort of a gift, I'm putting a microwave in for your office mate next door. Okay? This is going to go in. This is for fish and broccoli only.
Jordan, is there any last thing you'd like to say before you are put in total seclusion in a prop warehouse?
Only that I hope you'll leave me an air hole, either my nose or my mouth.
Well, I have an old saying, always an air hole for an asshole. So you'll be fine. Congratulations.
Slip and fall while you're holding a sword. You can crack your skull on a dive.
This is Jordan Schlansky reporting to you from isolation in an undisclosed location. Being an introvert, this type of social isolation is less of an adjustment for me than it is for many others. Nevertheless, in times like these, it's important to keep both mind and body occupied. Therefore, I'm using this opportunity to fine-tune my skill sets in some of my more solitary activities.
Let's have a little bullwhip demonstration.
Yes, this is a 10-foot David Morgan 455 kangaroo hide bullet.
Okay. No one asked, no one cared.
So that's the kind of
Wait, that was
activity I've
it?
been-
That was it? You've inspired me. I'm gonna go outside, grab some garden hose, and whip it around in my pajama bottoms.
Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Now, the impact is the trajectory, the speed of the projection is too fast.
What do you mean? How could it be too fast? If your mouth is pretty much surrounding the hole, won't the cookie go right in?
You want my mouth on the hole?
Yes, I do. Yes. Mouth on the hole, please.
Yeah. Okay, I've caught 3 pieces in my mouth.
Yes! Yes!
Earlier this year, just before our studio was shut down by the COVID-19 pandemic, I called in some big names to tackle a renovation of Jordan's office. Would you be willing to evacuate your bowels in here if there was a toilet?
I don't do that in the workplace.
How do you save it up for all day? Like you save it up for 10 hours?
My body's on a natural rhythm. I've taken great steps to ensure the natural digestive rhythm of my body. I take a probiotic supplement.
Are you being serious? You don't defecate at work?
You can't control your bodily functions.
Jordan, why? Why did we put a cutout of Jordan in the crowd pretending to be an illusionist? Andy, what would possibly be the point? The only upside to this quarantine is that I don't see Jordan regularly.
Right. It's funny because the cardboard cutout is far more productive than the actual.
Yeah, the actual Jordan, look at him. The actual Jordan does so little. Yet the cardboard cutout is just kicking ass and taking names.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Schlansky. Jordan, go ahead and tell us what the fuck you do on the show.
Okay. So basically, on a daily basis, first.
Back on the TBS show in 2014, we had the cast of Orange is the New Black on, and Laverne Cox was one of the cast members on the show. And she had mentioned her twin brother and that he had a website. He was a musician, she said, and she wanted to promote his website. And we didn't know about it in advance. Normally, I'll check out a website in advance. In that case, it was ad-libbed. I did not have the opportunity. So after the taping, I immediately got an email from the standards department saying that we needed to censor the website. After I said that we'd like to keep this URL, the mention on air of Laverne Cox's brother's website, I was told there is a pornographic image on the front page of the site of 3 men being anally penetrated by objects. Immediately, to verify the accuracy of the email, I went to the website. And in fact,
well, of course,
that was certainly the case.
Well, if it isn't Jordan Schlansky. Jordan, you have something you want to say about the podcast?
Yeah, listen, this is an advertising segment, and rather than promoting your own self-interest, your simple assignment was to mention that after 100 years of innovation, Chevrolet has taken some of their most popular vehicle models and made electric versions. And it's all based on their Ultium battery, or in the original Latin pronunciation, Ultium. And in fact...
You don't look like the Jordan that is in all of the remotes that we did together.
Okay.
Your appearance has changed.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you why this is important to me. I look amazingly similar to the man that graced television screens starting in 1993. I'm agile. I'm lean. You have let yourself go.
No, I did not let myself go. I just went.
Can you give me that attitude and look? Right in there. You're on your way back, buddy boy.
Jacob, I have worked with your father for many years. He was a successful comic personality for 28 years. And now he feels as if he can take some time. He's announced there will be a new show, and one would expect maybe it'll be 2 months, maybe it'll be 3. And then some people that work for him, like myself, are standing by just waiting. Sure, there have been physical consequences. My life has fallen apart, as has the lives of many others.
Explain why you can't get another job.
But it's also possible that my employer has publicly...
Explain why you can't get another job.
Publicly claimed that I'm unemployable, my work ethic is subpar, I don't do anything, I come into work late.
Sitting here is Jordan Schlansky. Hello, Jordan.
Hi.
Are you close enough to the microphone?
You have to tell me. That's not my responsibility.
Okay, well, why don't you put the microphone a little closer to your mouth? You are being an incredible prick already.
I didn't realize I was functioning as an audio engineer, but I'm happy to comply.
How did you come to work for me? Do you remember the year?
I do. The year was 1994. I was an unpaid intern initially, and then I was hired to continue my employment.
Okay. So you started out as an intern, and then some fucking idiot decided to hire you on permanently.
Every time I was called down, to this day, every time I was called down to Conan's office for a legitimate reason, part of me expected to see a camera crew in there. And like,
Or you see me come by and just peek my head.
Well, you were a big tip off, but like a lot of the things too was one of the excuses to get me in the office at a certain day and a certain time for one of these instances was that there was a fictional meeting. So I got an invite to a meeting about something that had basis in maybe what I was working on at the time. And then it turned out to not be a meeting. The chef would put down a piece of sushi in front of all of us, and the arrangement was I was sitting next to Conan. You guys would just eat happily what was ever put in front of you. I would taste mine. He would look at me. I would give him a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and I wasn't rating the quality of the food. I was rating whether he would like it.
And how do you know if he would eat it?
Yeah. We had this crazy experience on a train. This is much later,
right?
And it was a shot as a behind-the-scenes thing. Aaron Blair was shooting
with
something,
phones or something, yeah.
Yeah, with his phone, and it was a similar situation where we just devolved into like some kind of laughing fit. And when we got back. Again, I didn't see any of this footage, but I heard this. Your office was across the hall from me at the time, and I heard this laughing coming from you were laughing hysterically, and I feel like I caught you laughing hysterically, screening footage as well. And it's that concept of seeing people laughing that makes you as a viewer laugh.
Do you remember what was the first thing that we did with you? Do you remember when we put you on camera?
Well, obviously, when you work on this show, you're involved in a lot of comedy bits, playing various characters that may come up. So there were plenty of those going all the way back to the 90s. But to answer your question, as I think you wanted it.
Where you were playing Jordan, where you were yourself.
No, I was playing Man 2 in the courtroom or things like that. Those clips exist.
And so no one could even find that espresso machine. I once hired 7 baristas to patrol the office, and they couldn't find it.
It's bariste. The plural of barista is bariste. In Italian, we don't pluralize by adding an S.
I would slap you if you are beyond. I'm extending my arm, and you are God, that grinning pumpkin of yours is beyond my reach, or I would slap you.
And you would probably be a pork chop.
Why do you say that with such disdain? What's wrong with a pork chop?
You would be a pork chop with the fat cap that has not been properly scored to the point that once it hits that hot grill, it curls up immediately. You are curled up in the fetal position with your fat cap. You are a pork chop.
Jesus.
Socrates.
Sorry.
What was that?
I played Google's pronunciation of Socrates.
Thank you, Eduardo. When it said Socrates.
That was an incorrect pronunciation.
Wait, you're arguing with Google now?
I'm not arguing with...
Google is...
I'm not arguing because I know my position. My position is it's Socrates, and that's as far as I'll go with it.
But can I ask you something?
Your interpretation does not change reality. Is it S-K-I or S-K-Y? Okay, and is it Polish-Russian? Was the territory part of Russia or the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or was it part of Poland? Where's your family from, Gursky?
Jesus!
This is clearly a bit. How are you being so gullible?
This is how you talk to people?
How are you being so gullible?
This is a terrible show!
Well, the first thing I look for a product made with olive oil and lack of seed oils or processed oils like canola, which is also called rapeseed, which people perceive because it has a high monounsaturated fat content.
Did you say grapeseed?
Rapeseed.
But don't talk that way on this program. What are you talking about? That's awful.
That's a piece of flora. And then this product was damaged. I may have dropped it.
I don't remember. It may have just failed due to its age. Nevertheless,
If it was around you for 20 years, it probably killed itself. To cut a tiny little gun and shot its brains out.
So the lights go down and the 20th Century Fox logo comes up, and I'm thinking to myself, this is it. After 16 years, this is it. And that silence comes right after that fanfare before the flourish in music. And this guy leans forward and starts cracking jokes. This guy makes it all about him. He takes me completely out of the moment. He starts gabbing in the middle of the movie theater.
Why does it matter to
What
you?
do you care? It certainly doesn't matter, but I think when there's an elephant in the room, when a man walks in who's 95% shaved and there's just hair jetting out of his cheek, I just think it's worth mentioning. I don't mean any insult. I don't mean any insult. It's easily fixable. It's not a slight on your character. We all make mistakes. I use toilet paper on many areas of my body.
What are you talking about?
My nose, my ears. I use it to wipe up
You use
spills.
Kleenex for your nose.
No, I use toilet paper for my nose. Sure, in a situation where I'm sick and there's an excess of mucus, I'll invest in a box of Kleenex. But why have a product that's good for one use when I can have a multi-use product like toilet paper? Are there times where you want to look at a piece of art and be brought to tears? Do you cry at mood? Like, are you always cracking jokes in your head, like with this ironic stance? Like, if you feel emotion welling in you, do you have to pivot into like cynicism and kind of like deconstructing in a comedic
I'm a cynical
fashion?
person
Just
at
saying,
all.
do you tear up at movies? Like when you watch Interstellar, the end of Interstellar,
what
for
are you
example.
talking about? I don't tear up at movies. I don't. No, I don't have time for that. And I'm not going to go and look at a painting and go, boo hoo. I have a special guest for you today who's
Okay.
joining us right now.
All right.
Let's get him in here. I think this is a big moment. And
Okay.
there he is, Getty Lee.
Yes.
What do you mean, oh, yes?
Yeah. Speak of the devil.
This is your
Hello.
God.
Yes.
Getty, how are you? Great to see you.
Good.
I can't believe I just bring Getty into the conversation and you go,
Yes.
oh, yes.
Yeah.
You freak. Why do you want to have all these romantic experiences with me?
This is how you connect with humans.
No.
This is how you connect with humans.
Romantic is how you connect with someone who you have a romantic sexual interest in.
Why sexual?
Do you have
Why
a
sexual?
Do you have a romantic interest?
Of course I do.
What are you
High
talking
romance. You ever hear of the romantics? You ever hear the new romantics in music? The fact that you link romance with sex to me is very telling. It's very two-dimensional. Things are not always so cut and dry. I believe you and I have a very romantic relationship.
No, wait a minute. What?
What?
What do you call Jaws? Jaws?
No, Jaws, that's an English word.
Yeah. E.T. Let's go watch Star Wars. It's okay to say tango. Look, I'm Nixon.
No one knows that reference anymore.
What's your problem? What is it? What's wrong with? Why are you laughing? You've got a melted mushroom on your head, and you look like Super Mario having a nervous breakdown. What's happening? Are you okay? Are you all right?
Yes. We're going to Bond.
Oh my God! Look at his eyes. Look at the eyebrows.
We're in the land where this mystical fruit grows, and we can taste it in all stages of its development. I'm not expecting a fully polished, finished product here, but when I taste the end product, I want to know where it came from. I want to follow this olive on its journey. Yeah, that tastes horrible, but you could try it as well.
I'm one of the biggest stars in the world. This
Okay.
guy shit his pants when he saw me. I was in first.
Because he had too much olive oil.
Jesus Christ!
When you interact with somebody over, for example, 30 years, you both become a part of each other, and you may think, I don't like this person, or I don't want to
Did
be
you
with them
forget the word
anymore.
cut?
Do me a favor?
Yeah.
And do not move these.
Okay. I can't see a thing right now.
Well, let me tell you something, friend. I just want you to know
Yes.
that I value you.
Okay.
You're a good friend, and I'm glad we came up here. And I don't mind that I rented us skis and ski outfits.
Okay.
That doesn't bother me at all. How's the vision?
I can't see a thing.
Perfect.
I know sometimes you might find me frustrating, but I think through the lessons that you learn through these shared experiences, you'll start to value my place in your life. Like I say, I enjoy things that communicate warmth and coziness. I don't need external activity to turn myself on.
I'm able to turn myself on within the confines of my own mind.
Hey, Austria, check it out. It's Gru. Hey, you don't like the scarf? Don't worry. It'll Gru on you.
Physically, sure, you're deteriorating, as we all are, and it will only get worse, and not even in a linear scale. It will be exponential.
It's going to go fast. Do you think I'll go downhill
The difference
fast?
between 60 and 70 will be far more dramatic than the difference between 50 and 60.
I don't think so. I think 60 and 70, I'm going to do pretty well. I think 70 to 72 is when I go right in the shitter. I think that's when I become just a total mess.
Yes, you are. Yeah, definitely getting there. Jordan.
Well, first of all, we know Odysseus was Ulysses in Rome, and despite the pronunciation, which I'm not familiar with, I will tell you that a lot of people know about the Iliad, but do they also know about the Odyssey? Do people know that nobody could string Odysseus's bow except his son Telemachus, or is it Telemachus? And he had all these suitors coming after his wife, and he had a dog. And the dog was the only one that recognized. They thought he was dead, and he comes back, and the dog is the only one that recognizes him. And all these suitors are trying to string this bow, but they can't string the bow. And then Odysseus gets up there in disguise, and he strings the bow, and he executes the suitors, and everyone lives happily ever after.
If you were on the street in, say, San Diego, and it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and you said all of that, the police would put a blanket around you, and they would take you to a shelter, and you'd be medicated.
Right.